Parasites cost dairy farms significant income. We're Group 5, focusing on semi-intensive dairy cattle. We address key threats like Threadworm and Rumen fluke. This video demonstrates the practical controls to protect your herd now, focusing on environment, pasture, and monitoring. Watch and learn. The first major parasite in cattle is Fasciola gigantica and Fasciola hepatica, known as liver flukes. These are large, leaf-shaped trematodes that live in the bile duct. The intermittent cause is freshwater snails. Cattle become fatter by eating vegetation with ancestor metatheria. After ingestion, the juvenile flukes migrate through the liver before reaching the bile ducts. This causes damage to the liver tissue and leads to anemia, weight loss, bottle jaw, and reduced growth. Inhibiting infections, cattle may show poor appetite, weakness, and a drop in productivity.
The second major parasite in dairy cattle is Strongyloides papillosus. This parasite is a small intestinal threadworm mainly affecting calf. Only the parasitic female worm are found in the intestine. Infection happen to skin penetration, ingestion of larvae, or through the dam's meal. The larvae migrate through the lung before reaching the small intestine. They damage the intestinal lining and cause watery diarrhea, dehydration, reduced growth, and sometimes skin irritation at the penetration site. Moving on to the next parasite, Paramphistomum species, or known as Rumen fluke. This parasite is pink, pear-shaped trematode found mainly in the rumen. Their intermediate host is freshwater snail. Cattle become infected by eating vegetation with Ensis metascaria. Adult fluke in the rumen are usually harmless, but the juvenile stages in the small intestine cause major damage. They result in acute enteritis with sudden watery diarrhea, dehydration, and weakness, especially in the young cattle.
Alright, picture this. Your farm is basically a 5-star hotel for parasites. So what do we do to kick them out? Parasites love messy, wet hangout spots. So by maintaining better drainage, clean and dry coughs, we can actually shut down their luxury spots. All we have to do is add proper manure handling by removing it regularly and keeping it away from any source of heat and water. When we're talking about biosafety management, we have to instill the no entry policy. How? It is by quarantining new animals, disinfecting the tools and wood regularly, and the most important thing is to control who comes in and out of the farm.
Do you know parasite can affect milk production in dairy cattle? Strategic deworming can stop parasite infestation. Firstly, calf will get dewormed starting 1 until 3 months, and then adult cattle are treated twice a year and before calving. And then we have healthier cow and more milk production. Using the same dewormer again and again makes parasites stronger. That is why we practice anthelmintic rotation. For Strongyloid, we rotate benzimidazole and levamisole twice a year. For fluke, we alternate fungicide, treating them after the monsoon season. Next, we must control their vector to disturb their life cycle. Firstly, we remove the wet bedding as Strongyloids love them. And remember to keep the pen clean and dry. Also, build a fence on the swampy area and improve drainage system to stop parasite spread.
Parasite control in dairy cattle relies on good pasture management and regular monitoring. One effective approach is rotational grazing, where moving cattle between paddocks every few days to disrupt the parasite life cycle. Grazing in swampy or wet areas is avoided as parasites survive longer in this condition. Monitoring includes checking for anemia using the Pharmacia score system by observing the color of the cow's eye membranes. Farmers can also collect fresh fecal samples and carry out a fecal egg count to estimate parasite load. Finally, assessing body condition score helps to identify early signs of poor health that may be linked to parasite infection.
In addition to herd health monitoring, farmers must also be able to recognize signs of parasitism in their dairy cattle. One of the signs is diarrhea, weight loss, a dull and rough cat. Recognizing these symptoms early helps farmers act fast, protecting herd health and maintaining productivity. Besides that, good nutrition plays an important role. Providing balanced feed, clean water, and enough energy and protein helps dairy cattle become more resilient and less susceptible to parasitic infections.
For vaccinations, currently in Malaysia, there are no vaccines available to control parasites. Malaysia only relies on a combination of anti-parasitic medications and comprehensive herd health management programs.
In summary, remember the best defense against dairy parasite is proactive management using 3 pillars. First, environmental management through proper drainage and hygiene. Second, strategic pressure use like 4-3-4 rotation. Third, good husbandry including proper nutrition and early center vaccination. Protect your profit and your cows. Thank you.